I'm Deb Abrahamson, a member of the Spokane tribe, as well as the Dene from the Southwest and Coeur d'Alene tribal member. And I've been involved, and I'm from the Spokane Reservation, and have been involved in activism surrounding our uranium work since 1994. And one of the things I'd like to say about the fig tree is that from the very onset, when we were beginning to battle with the mining companies, the fig tree was there. From the time when the company was trying to import nuclear waste to the Ford mill site, and that was when Mary jumped in and called us and said, you know, you got a story here. And it's that level of dedication to communities and watchfulness about communities of color that have been very beneficial for us. The fig tree has kept our issue alive by continuing to follow efforts. Mary has been diligent in making sure that coverage has happened all along the way, and I love that about the fig tree. I love the comprehensive coverage that has happened that has benefited our community, and I love the fact that we haven't had to beg the fig tree for assistance, or you haven't had to put out any kind of media tricks or whatever you might call them, to be able to capture the fig tree's interest and maintain that perseverance, just as we have with this effort addressing the issues surrounding uranium in our community on the Spokane Reservation. So I'm very thankful to the fig tree for everything. In the past couple of years, the mining company has attempted to deregulate the cleanup measures around the Midnight Mine closure process. And they have submitted information to EPA to put that effort forward. However, as a result of community involvement and publications, the fig tree particularly, that covered this issue for us, it helped bring more people together to look at this effort. And our last meeting had 75 people there here in Spokane. So that was great in terms of being able to offer more information to the general public as to what's going on the reservation. And recently we learned that there is another effort to deregulate at the Ford Mill site one more time, which is at the very end stages of the closure process. The Ford Mill site has oversight by the Washington State Department of Radiation, which is different than EPA. And so now they're trying to deregulate again on the mill site effort. So we're putting together another meeting here late February, most likely in early March here in Spokane, to be able to find out what's going on and to make sure that the company doesn't get away with more than they should in terms of being able to look at their accountability and transparency to our community. So we're looking at that. You know, I'm at stage 5 of uterine cancer at this point. And so it's ironic that the work I've done as far as attempting to address the issues for our community, one of the major concerns has been just the whole idea that there has not been a comprehensive health study conducted for our people, looking around at other tribes impacted by uranium mining. There have been numerous studies on the Navajo Reservation, on the Dene side of things, because they are 400,000 strong. They have a strong political clout, and we don't. But recently, within the last couple of months, we've collaborated with the WSU Rural Health Program and Eastern Washington University, University of Washington, Indian Health Service, and other entities to be able to look at the idea and develop a cancer resource center for tribal communities, because we're all really being impacted. And we want to find a cancer resource center that has traditional ecological knowledge involved in the treatment plan and a more holistic approach. And at this point, the Puyallup tribe has developed that. So one thing we're hoping is the possibility of the Puyallups having a satellite here within, like at Airway Heights, where our tribe is located. So we're looking at that and excited about that, because then it initiates the cancer studies. It's the beginning process of really addressing concerns that have been for decades impacting our people, which now we're seeing a lot more death by cancer and death by other chronic diseases, but there still is a lot of cancer and autoimmune deficiency type of diseases that our community is facing. And the concern is that if we don't do something now, then we risk genocide to future generations. Because I've always looked at this as a just as a ecological genocide for our people, that the government did this to us and took the uranium during the Cold War era, and it sacrificed our people for the rest, so that the rest of the United States could be safe. Yet we weren't told of the danger and the damages, and we're still dealing with that today, and it remains unaddressed. So that's very much a concern when this began in the 50s, 1950s, and then now we're at 2020. Very much a concern for our people that we have been neglected to this length. So it has kind of, our family has evolved now into like river warriors with the water is life protection as a result of Standing Rock. So we're doing a lot of canoe paddling and things along that line. And that's been important because it does address that we all need water, that truly water is life, and that's one of the main protections that our people have always instilled in our beliefs, is that we need to protect the water as much as possible. And so with that, it has become a family process, and Twila having completed, with a degree in environmental science at the University of Washington, and then done a lot of work in air quality arena for our tribe, she'll be taking over and doing, following through with a lot of the work, because she has a strong knowledge base of the technical aspects of, what we're dealing with, which is always, important, especially when we're dealing with the mine and the EPA and everybody else who tries to sidestep issues by making them more technical and not really trying to explain anything to the people. And that's where we come in, and we've done a lot of that, trying to translate what is going on to our community to help them understand the necessity to address these concerns. Otherwise, our people are at risk all the time, and will continue to, be impacted by chronic levels of disease and everything.